Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Morning JB Show. I'm your host, James Boorman. If you're coming through and watching, please do like, comment and share. Let me know that you've been through. Just a quick reminder, at 8 today, we're doing a high intensity core workout. Okay, we're doing workouts through isolation, so that means we're doing it for the next 3 weeks. For definite on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday at 8. Okay, with gyms being shut, it just gives you a little bit of routine and structure. So come and join the party. We're having loads of fun. So listen, I'm going to ask you a question. And we got into talking about this yesterday. So Thursdays I have a social media free day. I don't do anything on social media. It's lovely, it's beautiful. And I just really use that to catch up, time to catch up with friends. And we were talking about questions, about reflection, and we were getting deep into the meaning of life. And the question I want to ask you is, what are you living for? Okay, what are you living for? When I see the majority of the world, and the majority of people that I work with and have come into my world, it's always been about waking up, going to work, then leaving work just to come home stressed and frustrated. And it seems that all of our emotions, our frustrations, all of the directions that we take, are all predicated on and in around our work. So sometimes leads me to think that we base too much around the obligation of our work life. Now this really is obviously based on a normal life, right? So like not this COVID-19 that we're going through. This way, Diggs. So I want you to think really, what are you living life for? Is it to pay bills and get by? Or is this something on a much deeper level that you can live for? Now, I just want to give you a little story about a big change that I made when I asked myself this question a couple of years ago. Now, I run a fitness company, a local one in my local town here, and it's how I started that business in 2013. And I managed to build it up in our peak to just under 300 members. It was a good business, it was running really well. And on the outside, it would look like we were being really successful. But there was a big hole that I had in me. And that hole was just a severe lack of fulfillment and inner happiness. I was just really living for everybody else but me. You know, I was doing the evening shifts and I wasn't getting home till 8. I was doing the morning shifts and it was kind of split all the time. And I wasn't seeing the kids enough. And I wasn't living the life that I wanted to live. Now, I truly believe that lifestyle design is something that is super important and overlooked when we are trying to create our lives. Now, we are only here once, right? I would consider myself halfway through my life. So 2 years ago, I kind of did a little bit of visionary work and kind of looked into my future. I thought, am I going to do this for the rest of my life? Am I just going to keep doing the evening shifts, keep running the business in this way, where my time and my energy is restricted, my productivity in life, my creativity, my fulfillment is waned because of the constraints that I have? Is that the way I want to live? It's not the way I want to live my life. How do I want to live my life? I want to have the freedom to be able to work on my own terms. The way that I want to live my life. I want to be able to put my kids to bed, decide my own routine, and not base it on practically being somewhere. Now, I'm not saying that's what you have to do. I'm just giving you my example. Okay, my example, this is, when I looked at it and I asked myself this question, what am I living for? I'm living for everyone else other than myself. So I decided to put myself first and my needs and my wants before anybody else. And I transitioned onto the online consultancy coaching, which is what we're doing now, right? And now, after working my absolute nuts off after 2.5 years, I'm in a position where I run my schedule, on my rules, on my time, and I live the life that I want to in terms of time and energy and productivity. So I can see my kids when I want to, I can be where I want in the world when I want to. And that has taken a lot of hard work, but it also took a lot of raising my self-awareness in terms of the life that I wanted to lead. Like, I knew what I wanted based on my past. Having been in the military and being away a lot with my kids, away from my kids in the early days of my career, I didn't want that again for my new little girl. I didn't want to be away working in the shifts in the school hall taking classes. That got me to a certain point, and then I was like, right, okay, that's great, but it's not how I want to live my life. It's not what I want to live for. I want to live for having balance. Now, work is 25% of my time and my energy, and it's about that balance. So the other segments of my life is 25% is spent on personal development, 25% on family and relationships, and 25% on health. And creating that lifestyle design, creating the life that you want, that gives you what you want as a man, rather than living the life of, oh, I have to work 9 to 5, I have to grind this out, and that's fine. But when you go to work, don't let it dominate all of your emotions, all of your decisions. Don't let it influence all of the bad habits and stress, because surely life is more valuable than just working and paying bills. There has to be some form of meaning in your life, some form of connection to the world. And that is difficult to find, and I think the only way you find it is by starting the process. And when you start the process, you learn more about what you want. When I run that fitness boot camp, on the side I would work till 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd get home at 8, have dinner, then work from 9 to 2 in the morning as a side hustle. And as the process went on, the more and more I enjoyed it more. The more clearer the vision of my future became, the more meaningful, the more passionate, because I suddenly found this thing about working with men that I love, that I just literally love. And I love the way that I could control my own life and working anywhere in the world, working with men all over the world. So I pursued it and went all in, until recently I closed down my boot camp over a 2.5 year period. And it was just by making a decision and raising that self-awareness that I was allowing myself to do that. You've got to allow yourself to be happy. You've got to allow yourself to have some passion in life again. Allow yourself to have a connection with some meaning, whether it's finding yourself again in terms of your health and your fitness, or suddenly finding a rekindling in your relationship by you putting more effort into your relationship than your work, or learning to grow and develop to more people. Whatever it is, there's always a bigger opportunity. There's always more to live for than just work and paying the bills. Yes, you have to do that, but include that in part of your cycle, but learn to let go of that. Learn to let it not dictate your life, so that you become unhappy all the time. When you're on your deathbed, I want you to look back and go, I live life to my fullest. I live life on my terms. I live life happy or fulfilled. And it's just a theory. It's just a mindset. Not everyone will get it. Some people will. Some people won't. Listen, I hope you have a great weekend. Look forward to bringing you tons of content over the week next week, guys, as we face another 3 weeks. I'm do my best to keep this in the right place for you, so that we are making better decisions. We're going to start looking at the transition back to normality next week, okay, so that you are 110% ready to go when that green button is pressed. All right, have a great weekend.